Welcome to Vedanta Bhakti Pravachan channel. In this channel, we are seeing Sai Satcharitra. In 24 chapters, we have seen so many things about Sai Baba. Now, in chapter number 25, what writer is telling, let us see. We begin this chapter with a prostration with all our 8 limbs to Sai Baba, who is an ocean of mercy, the God incarnate, the Parabrahma, and the great Yogeshwara. Victory be unto Sai Baba, who is the crest jewel of saints and adobe of all auspicious things, our Atmaram and the sole refuge of the devotees. We prostrate ourselves before him who has attained the aim and end of life. Sai Baba is always full of mercy. What is wanted in out of part is wholehearted devotion to him. When a devotee has God from faith and devotion, he wishes to soon fulfill. When the desire arose in the mind of Himad Pant to write the life of Leelas of Sai Baba, he immediately got it written by him. When the order to keep the memos was given, Himad Pant was inspired in his intellect got strength and boldness to undertake the finished work. He was not, as he says, qualified to write the work, but the gracious blessings of Baba enabled him to complete the undertaking, and thus you have this Satcharitra, which is cistern or a Somakan jewel, from which nectar in the form of Sai Leelas oozes out for the readers to drink to their heart's content. Whenever a devotee had complete and a wholehearted devotion to Sai Baba, all his calamities and dangers were warded off and his welfare attended by Baba. The story of Damodar Salvaram Rasane, Kasar of Ahmad Naga, alias Damu Anna, illustrating the above statement is given below. The readers are aware that a mention of this gentleman was made on the 6th chapter regarding the celebration of Ramanavami festival in Shirdi. He went to Shirdi about the year 1895 AD when the Ramanavami Utsav celebration began, and since at that time he was been providing an ornamental flag for that occasion every year. He also feeds the poor and the fakirs who came there for the festival. A Mumbai friend of Damu Anna wrote him that they would do some cotton speculation business in partnership, which would bring them about 2 lakhs to rupees as profit. Damu Anna says in his statement made about the year 1936 to Mr. B.V. Narasimhaji that the proposal about speculating in Mumbai cotton was from a broker who was not to be a partner in that, was to be the sole adventurer of the devotee's experiences. The broker wrote that the business was good and involved no risks, and that the opportunity should not to be lost. Damu Anna was vacillating. He could not at once determine to venture into the speculation. He thought over this, and he was a devotee of Sai Baba. He wrote a detailed letter to Shama, giving all the facts and requested him to consult Baba and take his advice in this matter. Shama got the letter next day, and when he went with his noon to the masjid and placed it before Baba, he asked Shama what the matter was and that the letter was about. He replied that Damu Anna of Nagar wanted to consult him about something. Then Baba said, what does he write, and what does he plan? It seems that he wants to reach sky and he is not content with what God has given them. Read his letter. Shama then said, the letter contains what you have just said. O Deva, you sit here calm and composed and agitate the devotees, and when they got restless, you draw them here, some in person and others through letters. If you know the contents of the letter, why do you then press me to read it? Baba said, O Shama, read it. I speak at random, and who believes me? Then Shama read the letter, and Baba heard it alternatively and said feelingly, the Seth has gone mad. Write to him in reply that nothing is wanting in his house. Let him be content with the half loaf. He was then not bother himself about lakhs. Shama sent the reply, which Damu Anna was anxiously waiting for. After reading it, he found that all his hopes and prospects about lakhs of rupees as profit were dashed on the ground. He thought that he had gone a mistake by consulting Baba, but as Shama had in the reply that there was always much difference to seeing and hearing that, therefore he should come to Shirdi personally and see Sai Baba. He thought it was advisable to go to Shirdi, consult Baba personally about the affair. So he went to Shirdi, saw Baba, prostrated himself before him and sat shampooing his legs. He had no courage to ask Baba openly about the speculation, but the thought in his mind that it would be better if some share in the business should be assigned to Baba, and set in the mind that Baba were to help him in the transaction. He would surrender some share of profits to him. Damohan was thus thinking secretly to his mind, but nothing was revealed from Baba. Everything past, present and future were clear to him. A child wants sweets, but his mother gives bitter pills. The farmer spoils his health, while the latter improves it. So the mother, looking to the welfare of her infant, coaxes and gives bitter pills. Baba, kind mother as he was, knew the present and future prospects of his devotees. And therefore, reading Damohan's mind, he openly spoke to him, Bapu, I don't want to be entangled in any such worldly things. On seeing Baba's disapproval, Damohan dropped the enterprise. Then he thought of trading rice, wheat and other grains. Baba read this thought also and said to him, you will buying of 5 years and selling it 7 seers a rupee. So, this business also given up. The rise in the prices of grains was kept up for some time, and Baba's prosperity seemed to be falsified. But in the month or two, there was abundant rain everywhere, and the prices suddenly fell down, and therefore those who stored grains suffered severe losses. Damohan was saved from his fate. Needless to say that the cotton speculation, which was conducted by the broker with the help of another merchant, also collapsed with severe loss to the adventurers. After saying that, Baba had saved to him for 2 severe losses in cotton and grain speculations. Damohan's faith in Baba grew stronger, and he remained a true devotee of Baba till his passing away. Once, a parcel of about 300 good mangoes was received in Shirdi. It was sent to Goa by a Mamaltadar named Rali to Sai Baba. In the name of Shama, when it was opened, all the mangoes were found to be in good condition. They were given in Shama's charge, and only 4 were retained and placed in the Colombo by Baba. He said these were fruits for Damohanna, let him lie there. The Damohanna had 3 wives. According to his statement mentioned above, he had not 3 but 2 wives only. He had no issue. He consulted many astrologers himself, studied astrology to some extent, and found that as there was a Papi planet in his horoscope, there was no prospect any issue in his life. But he had great faith, Baba. When he went to Shirdi, 2 hours after the receipt of the mango parcel for worshipping Baba, he said, though the other people looking for the mango, they are Damyas, he who is there should be eat and die. Damohanna, on hearing these words, was first shocked, but on Mahalsapati explained to him that death meant the death of ego, and having Baba's feet was blessing. Damohanna said to him he could accept the fruits and eat them. But Baba said to him, do not eat yourself, but give them to your younger wife. The Amralila will give her 4 sons and 4 daughters. This was done, and in due course, it was found Baba's word turned out true, and not those of the astrologers. Baba's speech established the efficacy or greatness while he was living in the flesh, but it did the same even after his passing away. Baba said, believe me, though I pass away, my bones in my tomb would be speaking, moving and communicating with those who would surrender themselves wholeheartedly to me. Do not be anxious that I would be absent from you. You will hear my bones speaking and discussing your welfare. But remember me always, believe to me heart and soul, and then you will be most benefited. The Mahatma closes his chapter with a prayer. O Sai Sadguru, the wish-fulfilling tree of the Bhaktas, we pray let us never forget and lose sight of your feet. We have been troubled with these sins and doubts in this samsara. Now free us from the cycle of birth and death. Restrain us from the outgoing of our senses to their objects, and introvert us and bring us face to face with the Atma. As long as this touching, outgoing tendency of the senses and the mind is not checked, there is no prospect of self-realization. Neither son nor wife nor friend will be of any use in the end. It is only you will give us salvation and bliss, destroy completely our tendency for discussion and other evil matters. Let our tongue get a passion for chanting your name, drive out our thoughts, make us forget our bodies and do away with our egoism. Make us ever remember your name and forget all the things. Just clasp us. The darkness of the night of our ignorance will vanish and we shall live happily in our light, that you made us drink the nectar of your leelas and awakened us from a slumber. It is due to your grace and our store of merits in past births. In this connection, the following extract from the Damodar's statement mentioned above is worth perusal. Once, when I sat his feet along with many others, I had two questions in my mind. He gave answers to both. There are so many crowding to Sai Baba. Do they all get benefit from him? To this, he replied orally, look at the mango tree in blossom. If all the flowers become fruit, what splendid crop it would be. But do they? Most fall off. By wind, very few remain. The second question was about myself. If Baba were to pass away, we hopelessly defeat, it would be how am I to fare then? To this Baba answered that he would be with me whenever and wherever I thought to him. The promise he had kept up 1918 and he has been keeping after 1918. He is still with me. He is still guiding me. This was about 1910-11 when brother separated from me and my sister died and there was a theft and police inquiry. All these incidents made very disturbed. When my sister died, my mind was much upset. I did not care for life of enjoyments. When I went to Baba, he pacified me with his upadesh and made me eat feast of Purn Poli at Appa Kulkarni's house. There was a theft in my house. A 30-year-old friend of mine stole my wife's jewel box, including a auspicious nath. I wept before Baba's photo. The next day, the man returned the jewel box and asked for pardon. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all.